Frédéric Chopin. The name conjures images of delicate melodies and profound melancholic beauty. His music whispers secrets of love, loss, and longing. Behind the beauty lies a story of a man as fragile as his music. Chopin poured his heart and soul into every note. This exploration reveals the complex layers of his genius. Born in 1810 near Warsaw, Poland, his early years were steeped in rich musical traditions. From these beginnings, a musical prodigy emerged. His music captivated audiences and continues to resonate today. His ill health shaped his life and work profoundly. It imbued his music with poignant beauty and longing. Despite his illness, Chopin's spirit remained indomitable. He created masterpieces that inspire awe and admiration. This journey will unravel the complexities of his genius. We will delve into the world of a man whose life was as intricate as his music. A journey of discovery, revealing the man behind the music. A story of triumph over adversity and a legacy that enriches the world of music. Frédéric Chopin was born on March 1, 1810, in Zelazowa Wola, near Warsaw, Poland. His father, Nicholas, was a French tutor, and his mother, Justina, had a passion for music. From his earliest years, young Frédéric was immersed in a world of music. He began piano lessons at 6 and composed his first polonaises by 7. His talent was nurtured by Wojciech Zuni, a respected pianist in Warsaw. The folk music of Poland deeply influenced his compositional style. These early experiences laid the foundation for Chopin's remarkable musical journey. In 1830 at 20, Chopin embarked on a life-changing journey. He left Poland for the vibrant cultural hub of Paris. The City of Lights promised new opportunities. He would never return, carrying Poland in his heart. Paris was a melting pot of artistic and intellectual ferment. Romantic ideals flourished, and Chopin found his place. He formed invaluable connections with leading figures. Chopin's musical genius captivated Parisian audiences. His performances became legendary, marked by technical brilliance and emotional depth. His mazurkas and polonaises became symbols of Polish pride and personal longing. Chopin's music transcended the boundaries of his time, leaving an indelible mark on the world of music. His innovative harmonic language, his expressive melodies, and his virtuosic piano writing revolutionized the way the instrument was played and perceived. He elevated the piano from a mere instrument to a vessel of profound emotional expression, capable of conveying the full spectrum of human experience. His influence can be heard in the works of countless composers who followed in his footsteps. From the Romantic era to the present day, his music has continued to inspire and influence generations of musicians. His innovative use of harmony, his exploration of chromaticism, and his evocative melodies have left an enduring legacy on the musical landscape. Chopin's compositions are not mere technical exercises, they are deeply personal expressions of his inner world. His music speaks of love and loss, of joy and sorrow, of longing and despair. He captured the full range of human emotions in his music, transforming personal experiences into universal expressions of the human condition. His legacy extends beyond his compositions. He was a teacher and mentor to many aspiring musicians, sharing his knowledge and passion with the next generation. He inspired countless others to pursue their own musical dreams, leaving a lasting impact on the world of music education. His dedication to his craft, his unwavering commitment to artistic excellence, and his profound love for music continue to inspire musicians and listeners alike. His music, a testament to his genius and his humanity, remains a timeless treasure, a gift to the world that continues to enrich our lives with its beauty and its power. Frédéric Chopin's childhood was a unique blend of rural tranquility and artistic stimulation. Born in Zelazowa Wola, he spent his early years surrounded by the natural beauty of the Polish countryside. The sights and sounds of nature would later find their way into his music. His family home, though modest, was filled with music. His mother, Justina Krzyzanowska, nurtured his musical talent from a very early age. The Chopin household was a haven of music. His innate musicality was evident to all who knew him. Chopin's musical talent blossomed early, astonishing those around him. He began formal piano lessons at the age of 6, quickly surpassing his teachers. His small hands possessed remarkable dexterity and strength. He could coax from the keyboard a range of sounds that belied his age. By 7, he had composed his first 2 polonaises. These early compositions hinted at the genius that would later flourish. His performances began to attract attention. He played with a natural grace and expressiveness. The The recognition of his talent brought new opportunities. Warsaw, the bustling capital of Poland, provided a rich and stimulating environment for Chopin's musical development. The city boasted a vibrant cultural scene, a melting pot of artistic and intellectual currents. Theaters, concert halls, and salons buzzed with activity, offering a diverse array of artistic experiences. This vibrant atmosphere nurtured Chopin's artistic sensibilities, exposing him to a wide range of musical styles and influences. He attended concerts and theatrical performances, immersing himself in the city's artistic life. He heard the works of the great composers, both past and present, expanding his musical horizons and deepening his understanding of the art form. He was particularly drawn to the opera, captivated by the dramatic narratives and the expressive power of the human voice. These experiences enriched his musical vocabulary, providing him with a wealth of inspiration and ideas. The city's social scene also played a significant role in Chopin's development. He moved in circles that included writers, artists, and intellectuals, engaging in lively discussions about art, literature, and music. These interactions stimulated his intellect and broadened his cultural perspectives. He learned to appreciate the interconnectedness of the arts, recognizing the common threads that united different forms of creative expression. The folk music of Poland, with its vibrant rhythms and melancholic melodies, exerted a profound influence on Chopin's musical style. He absorbed the spirit of the mazurkas and polonaises, incorporating these traditional dance forms into his own compositions. He transformed these folk idioms, imbuing them with his own unique harmonic language and expressive sensibility. These Polish roots would become a defining characteristic of his music, setting him apart from his contemporaries and establishing his unique place in the musical landscape. Chopin's formal musical education began under the tutelage of Wojciech Żuny, a respected pianist, composer, and pedagogue. Żuny, a Czech immigrant who had settled in Warsaw, recognized Chopin's extraordinary talent and nurtured his development with care and dedication. He provided him with a solid foundation in music theory, harmony, and counterpoint, equipping him with the tools he needed to express his musical ideas. Żuny emphasized the importance of discipline and rigorous practice, instilling in Chopin a strong work ethic that would serve him well throughout his career. He encouraged him to explore the works of the great composers, from Bach and Mozart to Beethoven and Haydn. He exposed him to a wide range of musical styles and techniques, broadening his musical horizons and deepening his understanding of the art form. Beyond the technical aspects of music, Żuny also nurtured Chopin's artistic sensibilities. He encouraged him to express his emotions through his playing, to communicate his inner world through the language of music. He recognized that Chopin's talent was not merely technical, it was deeply personal and expressive. He helped him to cultivate this expressive quality, to channel his emotions into his music, making it a true reflection of his soul. Under Żuny's guidance, Chopin honed his technical skills, developing a remarkable dexterity and fluidity at the keyboard. He mastered the art of phrasing, learning to shape musical lines with nuance and expressiveness. He developed a keen ear for harmony and counterpoint, enabling him to create rich and complex musical textures. Żuny's mentorship was invaluable, shaping Chopin into the musician he would become. He provided him with the foundation upon which he would build his remarkable career. As Chopin entered his adolescence, his musical talent continued to flourish. He composed prolifically, exploring different genres and styles. He wrote polonaises, mazurkas, waltzes, and nocturnes, each piece revealing a growing mastery of his craft. His music became more complex and sophisticated, reflecting his expanding musical vocabulary and his deepening emotional maturity. He continued to perform publicly, gaining increasing recognition for his virtuosity and his expressive playing. His concerts drew larger audiences, and his name began to spread beyond the confines of Warsaw. He became a sought-after performer, invited to play at private gatherings and public events. These performances provided him with valuable experience, honing his stage presence and his ability to connect with audiences. He also began to receive more formal recognition for his achievements. In 1826, he enrolled in the Warsaw Conservatory, where he studied composition with Józef Elsner, a respected composer and teacher. Elsner recognized Chopin's exceptional talent and encouraged him to develop his own unique style. He provided him with further training in music theory and composition, helping him to refine his skills and expand his creative horizons. During this period, Chopin's musical style began to take shape. He developed a distinctive harmonic language, characterized by his innovative use of chromaticism and his exploration of complex chord progressions. He cultivated a melodic gift, creating melodies that were both lyrical and expressive, capturing a wide range of emotions. He began to forge the unique musical voice that would make him one of the most beloved composers of all time. By the late 1820s, Chopin had outgrown Warsaw. He yearned for new challenges and a wider audience. He dreamed of Paris and Vienna, hoping to establish himself. In 1829, he embarked on concert tours. He met other musicians, expanding his network. Leaving Poland was not easy, but he knew he had to. In the autumn of 1830, Chopin set off for Paris. He carried Poland in his heart, its spirit in his music. In the autumn of 1830, Frédéric Chopin arrived in Paris, a city brimming with artistic and intellectual ferment. The young Polish composer, barely 20 years old, stepped onto Parisian soil with a heart full of hope and ambition. He carried with him letters of introduction to prominent figures in the Parisian music scene. Little did he know that this city would become his adopted home, the backdrop against which his genius would fully blossom. Paris in the 1830s was a magnet for artists and intellectuals from across Europe. The Romantic movement was in full swing, challenging established artistic norms and embracing emotional expression and individual creativity. Chopin, with his delicate melodies and passionate harmonies, found himself in a city that resonated with his own artistic sensibilities. The Parisian Salon scene played a crucial role in Chopin's rise to fame. These intimate gatherings provided a platform for artists and intellectuals to showcase their talents. For Chopin, these salons were vital stepping stones to recognition and success. They offered him a space to perform, connect with influential figures, and cultivate a loyal following. The salons were incubators of creativity, where artistic reputations were forged. Chopin's performances in these settings were legendary, captivating audiences with his profound musicality. His music resonated deeply, evoking a range of emotions. He was a storyteller, weaving narratives of love, loss, and longing through music. His performances brought him to the attention of wealthy patrons and influential figures. He became a sought-after performer, adding elegance and sophistication to any gathering. These connections propelled his career forward, solidifying his reputation as a rising star. The salons also provided him with opportunities to network with fellow artists and intellectuals. He formed friendships with leading figures of the Romantic era, enriching his artistic life. These relationships exposed him to new ideas and perspectives, stimulating his creativity. As Chopin's reputation grew, so did the demand for his performances. He began to give public concerts in larger venues, captivating audiences with his virtuosity. His name appeared on concert bills alongside renowned musicians, a testament to his rising stature. His compositions, too, began to gain wider recognition. Music publishers eagerly sought his manuscripts, recognizing their commercial potential. His nocturnes, etudes, mazurkas, and polonaises became increasingly popular. Critics hailed him as a poet of the piano, praising his delicate touch and profound musicality. They saw in him a composer forging a new path, creating a unique musical language. The growing recognition of his talent brought financial stability and artistic freedom. This newfound independence allowed him to explore his musical ideas without constraint. Romantic liaisons and artistic inspiration. Chopin's personal life, like his music, was filled with passion and complexity. His tumultuous relationships inspired his music, adding depth and emotion. His most famous relationship was with novelist George Sand. Their passionate affair spanned nearly a decade. Sand's influence on Chopin's music is undeniable. She provided him a haven to focus on his art. Chopin's personal experiences became universal expressions of love and loss. Masterpieces unveiled. Chopin's Paris years were a period of intense creativity. He poured his heart into his music, transforming personal experiences into universal expressions. His compositions captivated audiences, solidifying his place among the great composers. His nocturnes explored the inner world of human emotion. These pieces captured the essence of romantic sensibility. They were expressions of the soul, revealing the depths of human experience. A star in the musical firmament. By the mid-1830s, Frédéric Chopin had firmly established himself as one of the leading composers and pianists of his time. His name was synonymous with musical genius, his performances eagerly anticipated, his compositions celebrated throughout Europe. He had risen from relative obscurity to become a star in the musical firmament. His concerts were attended by the elite of Parisian society, his music praised by critics and fellow musicians alike. Franz Liszt hailed Chopin as a poet of the piano, recognizing the depth of emotion in his music. His performances were transformative experiences, transporting audiences to realms of exquisite beauty. His compositions reached a growing audience of music lovers. His nocturnes, etudes, mazurkas, and polonaises became standard repertoire for pianists. Their popularity solidified Chopin's place in the pantheon of great composers. His music transcended the boundaries of time and place. His music inspired other composers, painters, and writers, shaping the artistic landscape of the Romantic era. His innovative use of harmony and evocative melodies left an indelible mark on the musical language of the 19th century. He was an innovator, pushing the boundaries of musical expression. Despite his fame, Chopin remained grounded in his artistic vision. He continued to compose with passion and integrity, pouring his heart and soul into every note. He was driven by a desire to create music of lasting beauty and profound emotional depth. He had achieved his dream of becoming a recognized artist, but his artistic journey was far from over. He continued to explore new musical ideas, to refine his craft, and to create the masterpieces that would secure his place in musical history. The most significant and tumultuous relationship in Chopin's life was with the French novelist George Sand. Their affair began in 1838 and lasted nearly a decade, marked by passion and conflict. Sand, 6 years his senior, was a celebrated literary figure. Their connection was immediate and powerful, despite contrasting personalities. Their relationship was a complex interplay of artistic and emotional forces. Sand encouraged Chopin's creativity, providing stability and inspiration. However, their contrasting temperaments often led to clashes. The intensity of their relationship took a toll on their well-being. The final years were marred by friction, leading to their breakup in 1847. Despite the distance, Chopin maintained strong ties with his family in Poland. He corresponded regularly, sharing news and expressing deep affection. Letters bridged the gap between his life in France and his roots in Poland. His family celebrated his successes and worried about his health. These letters reveal his deep love and enduring connection to his homeland. Among Chopin's most significant friendships was his connection with the Hungarian composer and virtuoso pianist Franz Liszt. Their relationship, forged in the vibrant artistic milieu of 1830s Paris, was a blend of mutual admiration and occasional rivalry. Liszt's flamboyant personality contrasted with Chopin's quiet intensity. They recognized each other's genius, appreciating their unique qualities. Their friendship enriched both their lives and left a lasting impact on the Romantic era. Their musical collaborations were legendary, creating dynamic and electrifying experiences. Their shared passion for music created a bond that transcended their differences. Chopin's social circle in Paris extended beyond the world of music. He moved in a vibrant milieu of artists, writers, and intellectuals, drawn to the stimulating exchange of ideas and the creative energy that permeated Parisian society. These interactions enriched his artistic life, exposing him to new perspectives and influencing his own creative development. He thrived in this environment, surrounded by kindred spirits who shared his passion for beauty, truth, and artistic expression. He formed friendships with leading figures in the Romantic movement, including the painter Eugène Delacroix and the writer Victor Hugo. These relationships transcended the boundaries of their respective disciplines, creating a cross-fertilization of artistic ideas. They discussed art, literature, and music, debating the merits of different styles and exploring the nature of creativity. These conversations broadened Chopin's intellectual horizons, challenging his assumptions and stimulating his imagination. The salons he frequented were not merely social gatherings, they were intellectual hubs, where artists and thinkers engaged in lively discussions about the most pressing issues of the day. Chopin, though naturally reserved, participated in these conversations, offering his own insights and perspectives. He listened intently to the views of others, absorbing new ideas and incorporating them into his own artistic vision. These interactions with artists and intellectuals broadened his understanding of the human condition, informing his music with a depth of emotion and a complexity of thought. He saw in art a reflection of life, a way of exploring the complexities of human experience. His music, though deeply personal, also became a reflection of the world around him, a testament to the power of art to capture the essence of human existence. Despite his active social life, Chopin valued solitude. He needed time alone to compose and reflect. He found solace in the quiet of his apartment. These periods of solitude were essential to his creative process. He needed the space and quiet to hear the melodies in his head. These solitary hours were his sanctuary. He needed time to withdraw and replenish his emotional reserves. Solitude was a source of strength, allowing him to return refreshed. His music spoke to the depths of the human soul. As Chopin entered his 30s, his health, always delicate, began to deteriorate significantly. The respiratory ailments that had plagued him since childhood worsened. His vibrant energy waned, replaced by growing fatigue and fragility. His frame thinned, complexion paled, and movement slowed. The physical decline took a toll on his spirit. His illness became a constant companion, haunting his days and nights. Physical limitations made composing and performing difficult. His fingers trembled with weakness. Labored breathing made sustaining long musical phrases challenging. Playing the piano became a painful ordeal. He struggled to maintain his artistic standards. Frustration and despair deepened the shadows around him. Despite his decline, Chopin continued to compose, driven by dedication. He poured his remaining strength into his music. His later works reflected his struggle with illness and awareness of mortality. He found solace in musical creation. His declining health affected his social life. He became increasingly withdrawn, avoiding social gatherings. He preferred the quiet solitude of his apartment. He limited contact with friends, fearing his illness would burden them. The isolation deepened his sense of loneliness and despair. He longed for connection, but his illness made it difficult to maintain relationships. The relentless progression of Chopin's illness cast a long shadow over his life, plunging him into periods of deep despair. He struggled with the knowledge that his time was limited, that his creative powers were diminishing. The vibrant optimism that had once characterized his personality faded, replaced by a growing sense of melancholy and resignation. He grappled with the unfairness of his fate, the cruel irony of a life dedicated to beauty and artistry cut short by illness. The shadow of death loomed large, coloring his thoughts and influencing his music. He found himself increasingly preoccupied with thoughts of mortality, the fragility of life, and the inevitability of loss. He sought solace in music, pouring his anguish into his compositions, transforming his suffering into expressions of profound beauty and emotional depth. His relationship with George Sand, once a source of strength and inspiration, became increasingly strained as his health declined. Despite the darkness that surrounded him, Chopin never completely lost hope. He clung to his music, finding solace in the act of creation. As Chopin's health continued to decline, his public performances became increasingly infrequent. He struggled with the physical demands of playing, his weakened body unable to sustain the energy required for extended concerts. Each performance became a test of his endurance, a painful reminder of his diminishing abilities. His final public concert in Paris in 1848 was a poignant farewell to the city that had embraced him and nurtured his genius. He played with a fragility that touched the hearts of his listeners, his music imbued with a depth of emotion that transcended the limitations of his physical condition. The audience, aware of his declining health, listened with rapt attention, recognizing the significance of this final performance. In 1848, he embarked on a concert tour of England and Scotland, hoping to earn some money to support himself and his sister Ludwika. The tour, though financially successful, proved to be physically and emotionally draining. His final public performance took place in London in November 1848. He played for a small group of friends and admirers, his music filled with a quiet intensity and a profound sense of farewell. Chopin's final years were spent in Paris, far from his beloved Poland. He lived in a small apartment on the Place Vendôme, surrounded by a few close friends and his devoted sister Ludwika. He longed for his homeland, for the familiar landscapes, the sounds of the Polish language, the warmth of family and friends. He knew that he would never see Poland again, and the sense of exile deepened his melancholy and his sense of isolation. His days were filled with a mixture of quiet resignation and creative bursts. He continued to compose, though his output diminished as his strength declined. He found solace in music, pouring his emotions into his final works, transforming his suffering into expressions of profound beauty and spiritual depth. His sister Ludwika cared for him devotedly, tending to his needs with unwavering love and patience. As his strength ebbed away, Chopin grew increasingly introspective. He faced his final days with courage and composure, his spirit finding peace in the knowledge that his music would live on. On October 17, 1849, at the age of 39, Frédéric Chopin succumbed to his long illness, his frail body finally surrendering to the ravages of tuberculosis. His death marked the end of an era, the passing of one of the most gifted and beloved composers of the Romantic era. The world mourned the loss of a musical genius, a poet of the piano whose music had touched the hearts of millions. His legacy, however, would live on, his music continuing to inspire and enchant generations to come. His funeral, held at the Church of the Madeleine in Paris, was a grand affair, attended by the elite of Parisian society and the musical world. Mourners filled the church, their grief a testament to the profound impact Chopin's music had had on their lives. His body was laid to rest in the Père Lachaise cemetery in Paris, his grave becoming a place of pilgrimage for music lovers from around the world. His heart, however, was returned to Poland, as he had requested, and enshrined in the Holy Cross Church in Warsaw, a symbolic gesture of his enduring connection to his homeland. Chopin's legacy transcended the fragility of his physical existence. His music, a testament to his genius and his indomitable spirit, continues to resonate with listeners today. Frédéric Chopin's legacy rests firmly upon his profound impact on the piano repertoire. He transformed the instrument, elevating it from a primarily domestic instrument to a vehicle for profound artistic expression. He explored its capabilities like no composer before him, exploiting its dynamic range, its lyrical potential, and its percussive power. His compositions demanded a new level of technical virtuosity, challenging pianists to explore the full range of their expressive abilities. His works became cornerstones of the piano repertoire, essential studies for aspiring pianists and cherished performance pieces for concert artists. His etudes, technically demanding yet musically profound, became standard training for developing pianists. His nocturnes, evocative and introspective, captured the essence of romantic sensibility, becoming beloved favorites for both performers and listeners. His mazurkas and polonaises, infused with the spirit of Polish folk music, celebrated his national heritage with vibrant rhythms and passionate melodies. He wrote for the piano as if it were an extension of his own voice, a means of expressing his innermost thoughts and emotions. His performances became benchmarks for future generations of pianists, inspiring them to strive for the same level of artistry and expressive power. Chopin's musical innovations extended beyond his contributions to the piano repertoire. He was a harmonic innovator, pushing the boundaries of tonal language and exploring new expressive possibilities within the Romantic idiom. He embraced chromaticism, using unexpected chord progressions and dissonances to create a sense of heightened emotional intensity. His harmonic explorations foreshadowed the more radical departures from tonality that would characterize 20th century music. His melodic gift was equally remarkable. He crafted melodies that were both lyrical and memorable, capturing a wide range of emotions from delicate tenderness to passionate exuberance. His melodies, often simple yet profoundly moving, became etched in the memories of listeners, their beauty transcending the passage of time. He also experimented with musical form, pushing the boundaries of traditional structures and creating new forms that better suited his expressive needs. His innovations in harmony, melody, and form influenced generations of composers who followed in his footsteps. His music became a source of inspiration for composers ranging from Brahms and Liszt to Debussy and Ravel. Chopin's music is deeply intertwined with his Polish heritage. Despite spending most of his adult life in Paris, he never forgot his homeland. The memory of Poland, its landscapes, its people, its music, remained a constant source of inspiration. He carried the spirit of Poland within him, and it found expression in his music, a testament to his enduring connection to his roots. His music became a symbol of Polish national identity, a source of pride and inspiration for generations of Poles. His mazurkas and polonaises, inspired by Polish folk dances, captured the essence of Polish musical tradition. He transformed these traditional forms, imbuing them with his unique harmonic language and rhythmic complexity. They became expressions of national pride, symbols of Polish cultural identity. His music also reflected the political climate of his time, becoming a voice for the voiceless, expressing the hopes and sorrows of a nation struggling for freedom. His ability to combine national identity with universal human experience was a hallmark of his genius, a testament to the power of music to transcend cultural boundaries and connect people on a deeper level. Chopin's music has inspired countless interpretations and adaptations across various art forms. His evocative melodies and dramatic harmonies have found their way into ballet, film, theater, and visual arts. His music has been transcribed for various instruments, expanding its reach beyond the piano. His influence can be heard in the works of countless composers, from the Romantic era to the present day, his musical ideas echoing through the corridors of music history. Pianists from all generations have grappled with the technical and interpretive challenges of Chopin's music, each bringing their own unique perspective to his works. From the legendary pianists of the 19th century, such as Liszt and Anton Rubinstein, to contemporary virtuosos like Martha Argerich and Christian Zimmermann, Chopin's music has continued to inspire and challenge performers, pushing the boundaries of piano technique and artistic expression. His music has also found its way into popular culture, appearing in films, television shows, and commercials. Its evocative power has been used to enhance emotional scenes, to create a sense of romance or drama, to evoke a specific time and place. Its familiarity to a wide audience has made it a powerful tool for storytelling, its melodies and harmonies instantly recognizable and deeply moving. His influence extends beyond the realm of performance and adaptation. His music has inspired countless works of art, from paintings and sculptures to poems and novels. His evocative melodies and dramatic harmonies have sparked the imaginations of artists across disciplines, inspiring them to create works that reflect the spirit of his music. His music has become a cultural touchstone, a source of inspiration for artists seeking to express the complexities of human emotion and the beauty of the natural world. Frédéric Chopin's place in music history is secure. He is recognized as one of the greatest composers of the Romantic era. His music continues to resonate with listeners and inspire performers. His unique pianistic style has secured his place among the immortals of music. His music transcends time and place, speaking to the universal human experience. His contributions to the piano repertoire are unparalleled. His works became cornerstones of the piano literature. His music continues to be performed and recorded by leading musicians around the world. His legacy extends beyond music, becoming a symbol of Polish national identity. Chopin remains an iconic figure in music history, synonymous with romanticism and virtuosity. Frédéric Chopin's life was a paradox, a delicate balance between fragility and strength. Plagued by illness, he transformed suffering into profound beauty. His legacy endures, inspiring generations of artists. Chopin's name is synonymous with romanticism and emotional expression. His music continues to inspire and enrich our lives. The enduring power of Chopin's music lies in its ability to speak directly to the human heart. His music transcends time and place, resonating with listeners across cultures and generations. It speaks to love, loss, longing, and the search for meaning. His music is an emotional journey exploring the depths of human experience. His melodies, lyrical and evocative, stay with us long after the last note fades. Chopin's music, though deeply rooted in Polish tradition, has achieved a universal appeal, transcending cultural boundaries and resonating with listeners around the world. His ability to combine national identity with universal human experience is a hallmark of his genius, a testament to the power of music to connect people on a deeper level. He became a musical ambassador for Poland, introducing the world to the beauty and richness of Polish musical traditions, while simultaneously creating a body of work that transcended national boundaries and spoke to the universal human condition. His mazurkas and polonaises, inspired by Polish folk dances, introduced listeners to the vibrant rhythms and melancholic melodies of his homeland. He transformed these traditional forms, imbuing them with his unique harmonic language and rhythmic complexity, elevating them to the level of high art. These pieces, though deeply rooted in Polish tradition, also resonated with listeners unfamiliar with Polish culture, their emotional power transcending cultural boundaries. His nocturnes, etudes, and preludes, though not explicitly nationalistic in character, also reflected his Polish heritage. The melancholic undertones, the passionate outbursts, the delicate lyricism, these qualities, though characteristic of the Romantic era in general, also resonated with the Polish spirit. Its history of struggle and resilience, its deep connection to nature and its rich artistic traditions. His music has been embraced by musicians and listeners from all corners of the globe. His works are performed in concert halls around the world, his recordings cherished by music lovers of all nationalities. His music has become a part of the global cultural landscape, a shared treasure that unites people across cultures and languages. His ability to bridge cultural divides through the universal language of music is a testament to his genius and his enduring legacy. Frédéric Chopin's music embodies the spirit of the Romantic era, its emphasis on emotional expression, individual creativity, and the exploration of the inner world. His music became a touchstone for Romantic artists across various disciplines, inspiring painters, writers, and musicians to explore new avenues of creative expression. He wasn't merely a composer, he was a catalyst for artistic innovation, his music shaping the cultural landscape of the 19th century and beyond. His music, with its passionate melodies, dramatic harmonies, and evocative imagery, resonated deeply with the Romantic sensibility. His nocturnes, with their melancholic beauty and introspective mood, captured the essence of romantic longing and the exploration of the inner self. His etudes, with their technical brilliance and expressive power, pushed the boundaries of pianistic virtuosity, inspiring pianists to achieve new levels of artistry. His influence extended beyond the realm of music. His evocative melodies and dramatic harmonies inspired painters like Eugene Delacroix to create works that captured the emotional intensity and poetic imagery of his music. His music also found its way into literature, inspiring writers like George Sand, his lover and muse, to explore themes of love, loss, and the complexities of human relationships. His music continues to inspire artists today. His works are frequently featured in ballet, film, and theater productions, their emotional power enhancing the dramatic impact of these art forms. His music has been adapted and reinterpreted by contemporary composers and musicians, its influence echoing through the corridors of music history. His music, a timeless expression of the Romantic spirit, continues to inspire creativity and artistic innovation across various disciplines. Despite the passage of time, Frédéric Chopin's music remains remarkably relevant. His music continues to speak to us today, its emotional power undiminished. His ability to capture the essence of human experience ensures his music will resonate for generations. Chopin's music transcends time and place, a testament to its enduring appeal. Performed and recorded worldwide, his music's popularity endures. Featured in concert halls, radio broadcasts, and recordings reaching a global audience. Chopin's music enriches our understanding of human emotion and artistic expression, a living, breathing art form, evolving through new interpretations and adaptations. Pianists from all generations bring unique perspectives to his works. Transcribed for various instruments, expanding its reach beyond the piano. His music appears in films, television shows, and commercials, enhancing emotional scenes. Its evocative power creates a sense of romance or drama. Familiar to a wide audience, it is a powerful tool for storytelling. A timeless expression of the human spirit, it continues to inspire and uplift. It speaks to the deepest parts of ourselves, reminding us of the power of beauty and human connection. Chopin's music, a gift to the world, will continue to resonate with listeners.